Hey guys, the webinar will start very shortly. We will start the webinar by 6:10, guys.
Hi Aniket, you're on mute. Can you just quickly unmute and we can check if audio is working?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible? Hello, can you hear me, guys? Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, Aniket.
yes, Anika.
Okay, you can see my screen also. I'm sharing my screen as well.
Yes, Aniket. Screen is also visible.
Okay, shall we get started or do you want to introduce first? Smithy?
Yes, Aniket. I'll just give a quick introduction. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's session. And today we will be covering the topic insights and impact using data science. And our topic for today will be covered by our industry speaker, Mr. Aniket. I'll just give you a quick introduction about Aniket. He is a director at Monai, and he also has 13 plus years of experience in AI and ML. He has an understanding of generative AI products and brings a wealth of expertise in building intelligent and data driven solutions. He has also worked with companies like PayPal, Fidelity Investments, and ASAPP, and has worked at the intersection of finance, technology, and product innovation. He has all his expertise includes predictive modeling, machine learning, deep learning algorithms, and he's also an alumni of the PGP data science program. And today he will be taking you through the masterclass. Um, Before we start, I'll give a quick uh, flow of how the presentation will go. We've kept all of the attendees in a listen only mode, so you can ask your questions via the chat window or the Q&A tab. And please do keep it interactive. Please ask all of your questions. And with that, I will hand it over to Aniket.
Thank you, Smithy. Hey everyone, good evening, and thank you for joining, taking out time on a weekday. Yeah, as Smithy mentioned about the agenda. So today we're going to talk about the insights and impact of data science in your career, right? How you can leverage data science to grow your career, especially we'll first talk about like what exactly the data science is or how the process of data science works, and then we'll move on to the market scenario, like how are the jobs currently in the data science or the market of data science, and then we'll focus on to like how great learning can help you to achieve the desired career, right, which is the field of data science. And there is a dedicated program. We'll talk about that program in detail towards the last third part of the session, and then after that we'll also keep like 10-15 minutes to answer your questions, especially people who are we know that the people are here from different domains, across the industry. So, or like starting from freshers also. So happy to answer the questions if you have regarding your career, doubts, clarifications, anything if where we can answer. We'll try our best. Okay. So that's the agenda. That will be the flow. Let me start first with like what data science is. Let's understand from a process point of view that how does a process of data science work? Let's talk about a project, right? So how do you work, or a data scientist work on a project? So the first step is actually the problem understanding, right? So whenever like in business, whatever problem you're solving, it has to attach to a business outcome, right? So any problem you pick up, it has to be associated with a business outcome metric. Profit, it could be revenue, it could be, let's say, loss minimization, cost minimization, pricing. Everything is related to some business outcome. And that's why whenever you start working on a project, you start from a problem statement understanding. That's a step number one, you can say. Then after that, what is the role of a data scientist? Data scientist's role is to convert that business problem into a data problem, which means that based on the business understanding that you have, you acquire relevant data, or you collect relevant data, and then from data you analyze it, generate the insights from the data, and convert the data back into business insight. Right? So it works in a circle. It is a loop that you're working in. So the first step is understanding the problem. Second step is when you understand a problem, you collect the required data. So for example, let's say there is a company whose product is or product's revenue has dropped maybe in the last 6 months. Now they want, or they've assigned you this problem statement that, okay, we are actually degrowing in the revenue. Can you help us identifying the cause or root cause of this, revenue dip? So then what would you do? This is a business problem, right? They see a fall in revenue. So then as a data scientist, you start doing the root cause analysis of this. What do you do? Step one, you Since we are talking about one particular product, you collect the data of the product. That's your step number one. Where is that data? That data is stored in your databases, right? Those are your company databases. There are many databases available, SQL, NoSQL, right? Hybrid databases are available. You actually try to access any one of the data sets or databases where the data is available of that product, right? And how do you access that? You use a tool like SQL, right? Or maybe if you're doing in no SQL database, then maybe MongoDB, let's say document. So then you write queries in to access the data, right? Then after the data gets accessed, step number three is cleaning the data. Now, what is cleaning of the data? See, data can be sitting in the databases in many different formats because think about like the company has, you know, the database of the company has to cater to multiple stakeholders. You are as one of the stakeholder as a data scientist, one of the stakeholder for the data engineering teams, right? So that's why data can be different formats. So data might require some cleaning, or sometimes data is missing, sometimes data is stored in a wrong format. It can happen. There are some issues and errors, or maybe some normal general cleaning is required because the way you want the data or the format that you are looking for might not exist in the databases, so that you access via cleaning, right? So that's your step number, let's say, three. What is the next step then? Now, the data cannot be at one place. Data might be at multiple places, like say one table, two table, three table. You have to join the tables, right? That is where the integration works. So what you try to do is you try to access multiple tables. You run again SQL queries, maybe join the databases or tables to access the relevant data. Like for example, let's say now you look, how do you do root cause analysis? You do root cause analysis by accessing the data of that product. Now, product you deep dive further. Like product could be belonging to one particular geography. Within geography, you have region. You have region. You have country. Within country, you have states. Within states, you have districts. Right? Then there is a who is buying. You might have a customer segmentation. You might have a supply side segmentation, demand side segmentation. So then those data you deep dive, right? And that can be sitting in multiple tables. You access the tables and then join these tables to prepare your data that is relevant for your analysis. Then the next step is analysis. What is analysis? We are doing a root cause analysis. Like you're trying to find out, okay, which first in this root cause or funnel analysis, like where exactly the drop is happening. Is this drop in the revenue of product coming from a particular region, particular country, particular segment? So we need to find out that. That is your root cause. You try to find out, okay, where exactly the issue is, and then you generate insight like, okay, what could be the reason of this drop? It could be that there is some, price increase happened. Maybe there is a demand of that product in general has decreased. There's no reason as such. There is a competitor product might be available at the same time. There could be many problems or many issues or external factors as well, which can cause the dip in the revenue. That is your basically from the analysis, that is your findings. How do you show that finding? You maybe now, like you have the data. Now, as I said, you have to convert data back into an insight form so that business can understand, because business cannot understand directly the data. You have to synthesize this information, package this information and share it with them. For that, you use tools like Tableau maybe or Python to visualize the charts, the graphs, right? The way we create in Excel also, right? Those are the insights that are compressed from your data, and then that are actually synthesized from your data, and then you share those insights via charts, graphs, via tools like Tableau, Power BI, SQL, oh sorry, Tableau, Power BI, Python, and Excel, and that you share. And then accordingly, business takes actions on top of it. Like for example, your finding could be that in this region, because of there is a competitor product available at the same time at a cheaper price, the customers are not buying our product. There's a steady decline in the last 6 months happening because of some issue. So then what you do is you share this recommendation with the business, and business takes appropriate action in this. So that's how the loop works. So your analysis ends here by sharing your insights, right? So this was an example of a root cause analysis the data scientist performs whenever there is a need or there is a problem statement like this comes, right? And this is how any data scientist in the industry could be like domain can be different. Like we're talking about a product, we could talk about something else. So but the flow remains the same, right? Okay. So then there could be another problem, which are predictive modeling problems, which are very famous, right? So when you try to forecast or predict the next data, next, month's revenue, or let's say the demand of a product. So for example, any predictive problem, the same example, if we now extend, okay, based on that last 6 months, product revenue, can you forecast, can you predict the next month revenue or next quarter revenue, next year revenue? What will be, so that the business can plan their inventory, their, capex, opex investments accordingly, right? So then this is a predictive modeling problem, because now you have to analyze. In the root cause, we analyze the historical data. Now in the predictive modeling, we are actually predicting or forecasting the future data using the historical data, the root cause analysis that is available to us, right? So then predictive modeling requires not only root cause analysis, also predictions. So then how do you do that? So data scientist then performs the analysis first, which we call, let's say, EDA in language. After that, there's a machine learning model that needs to be built here. What does that machine learning model do? It does the prediction. So for data scientists now, apart from learning Python, SQL, Tableau, right? A data scientist has to learn machine learning techniques as well, modeling techniques as well. So there are a lot of techniques available. You must have heard the names of logistic regression, linear regression, boosting, bagging, neural networks, etc. Depends upon the problem statement that you're solving. You can have multiple models. You can use multiple models to solve this predictive problem. You build the model, you validate the models, right? Validation of the model means like you actually test the model whether the model is working on unseen data or not. One is that you've trained the model on a seen data, like model is familiar with the data. You actually validate this model on an unseen data, and then you validate your assumptions, make your final model, and that model actually is your final model that you deploy um, and share with the business, the insights. So here, apart from the root cause, you're also performing the predictive modeling, where the model outcome or the output of your the overall analysis is the model that you're working. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, An Aniket, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear me. I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Just
Yeah.
wanted to confirm because my Zoom is little with bugs and everything. So, yeah,
Okay.
okay, continue. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the next is then let's now talk about the skills that I talked about. See, in the last two slides, I have already talked about like the skills, the tools that are required to become, a good data scientist, right? So we talked about Python, SQL, Tableau. So the skills are continuing here. For data scientists, right? So um, there are, I would say, primarily three types of skills that are important. One, skills are at a tool level, which are like let's say Python, SQL, Excel tools that I talked about, right? These are tools that we need to be good at to become a data scientist. SQL also, Python as well, Excel, primarily on Tableau as well. These are four tools which are very important. It should be in your kitty. The second type of skill set is technical skill set, which is learning the machine learning models, the last page that we were talking about for predictive problems. You need to know these models like classification, regression techniques, neural networks to become a good data scientist. Again, here there are set of techniques available. They are all applicable in a specific scenarios. So classification works in one scenario versus, let's say, regression works in another scenario. So all that you learn in the course as well. But just as of now, I'm giving you a high level overview, like what exactly should be there in your toolkit. Third type of skills are basic foundational skills related to data, like mathematics, statistics. Again, these are like you don't have to be a mathematician or a statistician to become a data scientist, but you should be aware like how number system works, like exactly in the sense that a knack of solving the problems with the data is very important, right? So when you see the data, like do you have like an interest in solving the problem by creating some pivots, some kind of, going deeper into the data and extract some important insights from the data. That is very important here. So those are the skills that are part of mathematics, you can say, and some bit of probability, yes, which comes as a part of statistic like probability distributions hypothesis. But again, I would say the easy to medium level, not at a professional, like, I would say the complex level, right? So there are mainly three types of skills. Let me repeat. One is the tool level. The second is the technical skills. The third is the basic number data, like, analytical skills that are required to become a good data scientist, right? And the good part is the course that I'm going to cover towards the like last few slides actually have this created a path for you where you can learn all these skills, in a structured way, which will help you to become a data scientist. Okay. Apart from this, there, of course, like as you grow in your career, you should have, right, business skills, domain skills as well. But those are specific to people who are working in a particular domain, right? So you must have spent some time in a domain. Let's say I'm coming from fintech background, so I have some fintech bias, right? So like that, people have different domains that they come from. So those skills are part of the business skills as you become more experienced professionals. Analytical skills and technology skills we already talked about. Okay. Then let's talk about the roles and responsibilities. So the first type of role is data engineering role. So for this course specifically, I'm not going to go into detail of this data engineering course because that's not applicable to people who are coming from data science and data analytics perspective, because data engineering is an engineering skill set where people are coming from engineering background. They work mainly on the databases, how the data will store in a company, how these databases, the infrastructure of the data is built within the company. That is their role, right? That's more on the core engineering side. Versus if I talk about the two other roles where we are focusing today as well, is called data scientist and data analyst. What is the difference between these two roles? That's more important, right? Most of the skill set is overlapping. Like for a data scientist, whether you are a data scientist or data analyst, you have to be good at the tool level skills, which means that you have to be good in Python, SQL, Tableau, Excel. These four are like important skills that you should have. You must have both, as whether you are data scientist or data analyst. The skills where the difference is primarily the two areas, I would say. One is the technical level, that for a data scientist, the more focus should be on machine learning skills like predictive modeling, regression classification, neural networks, deep learning. Nowadays, more on Gen AI side. For analytics, for data analyst or in the analytics domain, you don't have to be good in like these neural networks, deep learning, Gen AI, but you should have a good amount of knowledge of these skills as well. But you don't need to be an expert in this. It's good if you have these skills, and you should keep upskilling yourself. And that's a trajectory also the data analyst should follow. But in general, like you don't have to be an expert in Gen AI, because that's not their role. Their role is more focused on the root cause analysis type, Tableau, Excel, Python, tool level, and more business problem solving level skills that are required to become a data analyst. So that's why these two roles are slightly different in terms of that skill level or skill set, right? So you need to be careful when you try to differentiate between the two roles. And people who come from generally technical backgrounds prefer to become a data scientist, and people who come from non-technical backgrounds, like more on the business side and all, they prefer data analyst roles or data analytics role or business analyst. You can say both are the same thing, right? So that's the high level difference. Again, you'll get more clarity as you talk more, as we go deeper into the course, curriculum structure there. Now, let's talk about the new era, new technology that have emerged for the last couple of years. I would say 3 years almost now. Is called generative AI. So far we have been solving problems via machine learning models, or let's say deep learning models. They are also called discriminative AI, where the goal is that you take a data set, you try use that data set as input and try to predict some output. There is a prediction that's happening. So that's called your basically optimization problem, where you're predicting something by taking the data historically. In the Gen AI side, the difference is now here you are actually generating the content using the models. So there is a modeling foundation model techniques called LLMs, which call large language models. What do they do is, like, they also do predictions. It's not that they don't do predictions. They are also predictive models, but they are task specific models in the sense that they do different tasks. For example, let's say now, if I go to Chat GPT, which is also a GPT based on GPT models, there are different models. Let's assume that they are GPT, 4.0 model. What does that model do? That model, whenever I go to the Chat GPT, I ask the model, okay, can you generate the code for me? I am getting stuck at this problem. I need to write a Python code. Can you help me writing the Python code for this and this problem or so and so problem? What it'll do? It'll take your question, it'll understand your question via like a language, I mean, natural language, which is the way you interact with this bot. And then it'll try to generate the code that you're asking for, which means now it is also predicting, but its prediction is working slightly different way, where it is actually generating the code for you via this prediction. So that is why what's happening, the main task, the core task of this model is generation. So it is now generating the code for you. That's why it's called generative AI. This generation could not have been done by the machine learning, the traditional AI, deep learning and machine learning models. That's why this technology is different from the previous technology. And now this technology is now playing a role of a general purpose technology. Why? Because not only code, you can ask it to maybe, summarize an article. You can ask the Gen AI model to write an email on behalf of you. You can ask the Gen AI to read an email for you, reply on time, book your calendar, right? Book your rides, book your food, book your food. All these things can be done by this technology now, right? So that's why Gen AI is now, and if you think more deeper, it's actually what's happening here is it is actually working like an assistant for you because it is doing all the tasks that you're asking it to do, right? So it's a kind of a helper for you, right? That's why people are trying to achieve so many tasks with this. And that's the difference between Gen AI versus traditional AI. I hope the difference is clear. But if anyone has any questions, happy to answer. Okay. So that's on the Gen AI side. Of course, like we can go more deeper into Gen AI in general. Like for example, like what are the terminologies that we use on a day-to-day basis? So or especially like how do you interact with these models? That's more important. The way you interact with these models are via prompts or the natural language. So which means that whenever I need something from Chat GPT, what do? I write a prompt. Okay, can you do this for me? So this is a user prompt. I'm a user. I'm writing a prompt in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is answering me, right? It's following the instructions, right? And I can actually do a back and forth like multi-turn chats I can do with the ChatGPT. So that is, and people who are developing these applications on top of Gen AI, these, models, Gen AI technology. Let's say, for example, I have created maybe a travel agent, which performs the bookings, right? Or which the core task of travel agent is based on my requirement. It can book the flights, book the, cancel the flights, so and so. So then it is actually an agent which is taking actions as per the instructions. So then how do you interact with the agent? You go to the, let's say, any website, travel.com. There you interact with this agent. Agent has the developer who has built this agent, right? Has written a couple of system prompts in within that agent whenever the application was built. And those system prompts are triggered whenever you ask it to, like you ask any question to the travel agent, the bot, right? So then that's a part of prompt engineering where the developer has worked on the prompt engineering, right? Has written prompts inside that agent. What are the models or how do you access them? Mostly these Gen AI model, like you don't need to build on your own. Like not everybody is building these models. Only companies who are providers of these models like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, these are the companies, DeepSeek, these are the companies who are the actually model providers. They give you the model as an API service. You call that API whenever you need it for your own task, which means that you save a lot of cost to avoid training of these models. So you don't have to, and you don't have to train also, right? There are lots of applications, the travel agent, similarly, edtech, one agent can be built, other business and finance agents can be built. It's like so many techniques where we can, agents can be built, and that's where the industry is moving. Like lots of companies are now using AI and building products there. with that. And that's the application part of Gen AI, the third quadrant that you see. Right? Fourth quadrant, in case if there is a need, there is an option to build on your own LLM as well. So there are companies who are building, like in India also, like we have many languages, right? So people are building a lot of these language models based in the local languages, translations for translations and for other, things. But mainly they are building these models for on their own as well. So there are techniques available to train these models also, like fine tuning and RAG, which we are not going to detail today, but of course, like it can be taken up like as we learn more about the technology. Okay. So let's now move on to quickly like the data science market trends, right? So this was about the so far what we've discussed. Let me quickly summarize what we have covered, and then we'll move on to the market trends. So we started from a data science lens of a project like root cause analysis project, like how does the process of data science work? Second is then we move to the modeling, the machine learning project. Also, we deep dived and saw how a machine learning project works. Then we talked about the skills required to become a data scientist, data analyst. What are the roles available, right? In the data science fields and analyst fields. And then we talked about the Gen AI, the new technology that is coming up. The reason is because all these topics are covered as a module in the program, the BGP DSBA program that we're going to talk about next, right? And then what are the applications of Gen AI? How does this technology is different from traditional AI technology, so and so forth. So like that, you see that there is a um, like lots of technologies, lot of skill set required to become a data scientist. So that's why you need to be very cautious and very structured in your learning. That becomes very important. Like first you are choosing the right platform to learn, and then is the platform is updated enough for you to give you that coverage that are required to become a data scientist as of today or nowadays in the market, right? So because in terms of jobs, now let's talk about like how the market trends. So there is like data science openings are not going to reduce, right? So don't worry about the data science roles in the market. The industry is still growing in double digit. You can see that there's a 26% growth between 2024 to 2030 in terms of the number of jobs in the data science market across the globe. In India specific numbers, you can see there is a 300% increase between the 2022 to 2030 of a data scientist role. And we see lots of openings are there. Um, on a daily basis, new openings that you see on Naukri, LinkedIn, etc. Right? Then you have like globally also by 2026, there'll be like 11.5 million jobs required globally, especially in the field of data science. Okay. Now let's talk about the career path of data science, right? So what are the career paths of data science? See, the career paths is like how do you grow your career in data science? So there are, I would say here also like there are a couple of streams that you can be part of. One area is where you are technically sound, but not on the engineering side more, which means that basically the difference between like somebody who is more technical or more comfortable in Python programming, let's say, and eager to learn more on the deep ML research or data science research, they can become a data scientist or they can go for a data scientist role. People who are not that technical or are not interested to become that technical is their choice, but they still are interested in solving business problem. They can do a bit of coding sometimes here and there, right? Work on Tableau, etc. They can go for the role of a data analyst. So you see that here, or business analyst. So see that here, wherever you see analyst, like this reporting analyst, right? So business analyst, data analyst are the analytics field people. Data scientist or manager analyst also. Data scientist, statistician, right? Are people who are from the data science background side, which means that they are more interested in technology, like, ML, deep learning, Gen AI side. Then there are consultant roles also, which are like product consulting, analytics consulting, data science consulting that exist. AI engineer and ML engineer are one step further. They are on the engineering side of model, like people who are responsible for deploying these models, hosting these models, working very closely with the data scientists to work on these models. So these are a couple of career paths. So one on the analytics side, one on the data scientist side. Third one is the, let's say, the consulting side, and fourth one is the engineering side, the AI and ML engineering side. So these are four career paths can be chosen. People who fit into each other domain. Like for people who are more on the business side, can be part of data analyst and business analyst or manager analytics, analyst consultant, versus the people on the research engineering side, more the AI engineer, data scientist, ML engineer, etc. Okay, let's now talk about like how you can achieve this, right, in a more structured way, and how great learning can help you there. So great learning again, I don't need to, to talk too much about great learning. It's actually, everywhere. I mean, it's one of the, I would say, leading edtech platform to provide, especially analytics and data science courses. It has a good brand value already established in the market. So everyone knows if, let's say, you go with a data science, business analytics certificate with great learning. Not only that, you're also partnering, like part of the, great learning has also partnered with global universities like University of Texas and Austin, which is also in this course as well. You get dual certification. So you get the certification of University of Texas, Austin as well. But there are a couple of other courses which are like tied with Northwestern University, Walsh College, John Hopkins University, etc. There are not only that, like great learning has actually provided 12 million learners the coaching or the, courses across 170 plus countries, right? And then there is a 4,000 hiring partners who also hired, who have been, hiring so long, like for many years from Great Learning. There are total 18,000 plus career transitions have happened. People have been able to move to the industry. There is also mentor community, like which is around 8,000, mentors are there in Great Learning. People like me who, are part of the mentorship community, like who take classes in Great Learning. Okay, how this course is updated, right? So what is new in this course of PGP data science? I am also have been alumni of this course. Like I was part of the batch 2015-16. So what does the course contain, right? So first of all, the new modules are the chat GPT and generative AI, like especially how to use Gen AI on day-to-day basis. Every company now is pushing to use Gen AI for productivity for the, to their employees. Every company is pushing that we must use AI tools. This is already in the news, and this is not a new news. It's already there. So every company is pushing, their employees to use these productivity tools, whether these are agents, whether these are, let's say, ChatGPT kind of tools, etc. So you need to be good at using them as well, which means you might be working at some time on a prompt, on solving a problem via ChatGPT, etc. So that you need to know how to use that. So that's your um, one technical area that has been added in the course curriculum. That's very important. Second part is your business analytics and AI module, which is where the that is also that's I mean that is the traditional part of the program that has been updated, right? So here, like, you see a lot of techniques, models, or case studies gets updated whenever there is a requirement, whenever there is a need. So great learning keeps updating that. So that is your ML data analytics and ML science module. The good part about this program is actually the way the program is conducted, which is more like a workshop oriented than like a theoretical classroom, kind of environment. So, which means that when you join the program, you work on projects. So there are total 12 modules. Every module has 3 to 4 case studies in general. So then what happens? You end up, doing 50 plus, 60 plus case studies in the program overall of 1 year. There are tools. I'll talk about the curriculum in the next slide. There are tools like Python, SQL, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, Gen AI, like tools, Chat GPT, etc. You keep using them when you work on these projects. So then you build a strong muscle on the tool side as well. And not only that, there are hackathons available. You end the program with a capstone project, so and so forth. So lots of like hands-on experience that is focused, that has been the focus of this particular program. And that's actually a plus for you, because the more data science is more like a professional skill. The more you practice, the more you learn, right? That's very important. So this is the structure of the program. It is again number 3, ranking in the business analytics courses. As I already mentioned, it's a 12 months program. You're part of a mentoring, group. I'll not go into the detail of this one because I already covered, but you should talk to the Great Learning Program management team to get more details on the course. But you can see that here there are doubt resolving sessions. These are like one-on-one sessions that happen. You can take part of this one-on-one session and get more clarity about the career. What should you learn? What's your pros and what's your cons in terms of developmental areas where you can work on. Okay, so let's now talk about the curriculum, right? So what does the curriculum contain of the course? So curriculum is actually the content of the course. So as you can see here that which I was mentioning, right? So again, let's look at the three areas: the tools level, the technical level, and the business level. So tool, you see there is a dedicated module Python for data science. So people who are coming from non-technical background, they can who do not have any experience in Python, they can start learning Python on day zero, right? You can see Python, there's a SQL, there's a Tableau as well, and there is a on the next page you will see the mathematics and statistical course as well, module as well, right? Then there is a Gen AI module. So all these are like tool specific modules that are there. Then there are technical skill specific modules like predictive modeling, machine learning one, machine learning two, unsupervised learning, right? Neural network, computer vision, natural language, Gen AI. All these are technical skills for a data scientist, like what, like the predictive modeling toolkit, you can say, uh, to be there for you to become a good data scientist, right? Plus, there are not only that, there are immersive experiential learning, which means that you actually do a lot of projects, which I already mentioned. There are case study based projects, P2, there are networking, you're part of a mentoring group where you actually connect with people, industry, which actually gives you the knowledge, of your domain. So that's where like you actually not only that learning the topics or the course in a structured way, you're actually building your network as well so that you can leverage that network later in the future, right? You can see the tools and the courses like you see Chat GPT here, LangChain is again. These are all LLM based, tools that we use. Plus Python, NumPy, Pandas are packages related to Python, SQL, Tableau. You can see which we use to that. So that's about the curriculum. Uh, Again, quickly recap what we have discussed so far. So we started from data science project, flow, ML project flow. What are the skills required to become a data scientist? Then we moved to the Gen AI, like what Gen AI has added or how it is different from the traditional AI. And then we talked about like the market of the jobs, market of data science jobs. How does it look like? Then you have the what do you call the we talked about the curriculum updates of this, how this course PGP DSBA program, what is the ranking of this particular course, how does this course work, what is the curriculum of the course, how it can help you to achieve the outcome that you're looking for, right? So that's what the three parts of the agenda for today. Now we'll move on to the Q&A. I'll stop here, stop sharing the screen as well. Anyone has any question regarding the course, questions, you can post your question in the Q&A section or the chat. I'll take them up one by one. Happy to answer, as many questions as you have. Okay. Do we have any questions in the chat? I see, maybe let me check. Okay, we are asking them. Yeah, please ask your question, guys.
If you have any queries related to the program also, you can just put it in the QA section. I can answer it. So, Aniket, we have a question in the chat
Chat.
section. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Ravi Kiran is asking, I am working as a finance manager. Taking this course, how much time I should devote to this course and what is the fee? So fee again, you can answer, Vikas, but yeah, in terms of the time, see, this course is designed for working professionals actually. The way it works is that there are recorded sessions which are like during the week they get released and you can go through them throughout the week whenever you get time. Um, and I think it's not more than daily 1 hour of content that is there. Plus, there is a 2 hours of weekend uh, um, class, which is the live, mentor session. And again, then it's up to your personal study. So I would say in a net, if I add up the weekly time, not more than 10 hours in a week, which is like 1.5 hours daily, you can say, or you can do, let's say, 4 hours on a end of the week. Right. Sometimes you get busy, you work, right? So you don't get time on a week. It's fine to cover them in the weekends as well. So net, like 8 to 10 hours of time in a week is required. Um, Initially, maybe that time could be, let's say, 12 hours. But then later, as you get settled in the course, right, as the module go on, you see there is a pattern there. You can, I think, reduce the time, and then maybe on an average, again, it is 8 to 10 hours of time that is required especially for working professionals, because the course is designed in such a way. Otherwise, you will see that that this course could be completed maybe in 6 months. But that is the idea that, if let's say 8 hour sessions happen, classes happen on weekdays as well, you will actually have the 6 months course. But the way it's structured is so that people who are working professionals can easily, you know, um, cover this course and get the benefit that they are looking for. Right? There are no exams for this course, but there is, of course, like projects. You do a lot of hands-on projects, and that becomes your evaluations. You do capstone project in this course, and that capstone you evaluate at the end of the day. That is your, completion course certification criteria. Okay. Yeah. But again, study is required. It's not that we don't have exams here, but we have to study. So that's important. Like, so yeah, please don't take it lightly in general. But yeah, it's a good course. But as I said, data science are professional skills. The more you learn, the more you practice, the better you will be in the interviews, in the discussion, because companies ask for you to write codes, right? In the interviews, those discussions happen. So be very, I would say, go deeper in the initial days to learn more from the course.
Aniket, there are few questions in the Q&A section
Yeah,
also.
take them up. Okay. The second question I think I can answer by stands in how can and how can as an agency we can collaborate with Great Learning to reach out to students in Ladakh? Like, okay, that is, I think both the questions are for you. I don't see data science and tech AI not included university level.
Okay. Any doubts related to the program or anything that relates to the program, you can just fill the form. So this form which I have put it in chat. Okay, so this chat, this form is for feedback as well as whatever queries you have, you can put it in the suggestions and our team will get back with you. So if you want to know about the fee structure, if you want to know about the program structure, like how many hours of uh, every week that you need to spend, so everything will be given from our team. Okay, so you just have to fill this form and we will come back with you with all the answers that you put it in the suggestions. Okay.
There is a
Yeah.
question, Irene is asking, like, do
Yeah.
we have placement opportunities? Yes. So there is a platform called Accelerate platform, which Great Learning Pro. It's a platform, so where you can upload your resume, but there's no direct placement assistant, Irene, for this course, right? And the idea is because people are working professionals, so this course is designed more on the from the working professionals point of view. That's why the placements are not there, right? Because otherwise it'll be like a transition, bridge. I mean, a lot of people claim the fees from the organization, like take the benefits of reimbursements. I think that's why it's not designed that way. But of course, like as you do well in the course, you get a lot of opportunity. There are paths available where you can track, right? So your progress via LinkedIn, via Naukri, from externally, you are actually free to apply from any platform. Okay. But as I've seen, like historically also, like people have been able to, make a move by using this course. I mean, so not using this course, by studying from this course. Like they have been, like I have been one of the beneficiaries where I was able to make a move. So I think before even like that time, eighth or ninth month, I was able to make a move uh to the to a new company. Yeah, yeah. So it's overall, it's basically the overall number of type. Not every year there are 4,000 companies, of course, come. That's not the, I think, message. The message is that it has in the past, there are tie-ups of 4,000 plus companies where Great Learning proactively reaches out sometimes, and sometimes companies do reach out to Great Learning as well if there are suitable candidates for them from the institute. Right? So it works in both ways. It's not that every year 4,000 companies come to campus and the placement happens. Okay. Does that answer the question? Okay. Any other questions? I think we're good then because no other questions I see. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Aniket, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time. It was a great session,
Thank you, everyone.
and
All the best.
thank you. So, hey guys, you can fill this form again. Any doubts about the courses or about the fee structure, about the program structure? Like you may think I have 15 plus years of experience. Will this course be suitable for me? So you would have a lot of questions with you, right? So filling this form will really help you because our team will get back with all the answers that you need. Okay. So I will just share it one more time. And since we have time up to 7, I will just share it one more time. Okay. So yeah, we'll we'll take 5 minutes to respond to these forms. And so we already have 3 responses asking about the fees and everything. Okay, that's really good. I will wait for like 2 more minutes. Any other questions? You can put it in the chat. Maybe I can answer, or else I will just wait for your responses for the feedbacks. Okay, so we don't have any other questions. Got it. So you can copy and keep this form link, because if I once I end the webinar, you may not able to take it from the chat again. So you can copy and keep this link and try to give your responses as quick as possible. And even if you want to have information about the upcoming webinars also, you can still put it in the suggestions. We will also give you the dates for other webinars also. And if you are interested in some other courses also, you can mention in that. We can get back with you that also. Okay, so I see everyone is leaving. Okay, okay guys, so we'll end the webinar here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time. And please make sure you fill the form so that you will have a clarity on the program and everything. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.